History celebrates Omar Bradley as one of the architects of the D-Day victory. But at 8:30 that morning, his hand hovered over a single order: withdraw. To Bradley, it wasn't cowardice. It was mathematics. As the casualty numbers climbed beyond every predicted limit, he realized he was standing before a brutal equation. Save 2,000 lives immediately, or gamble the future of the war on a narrow strip of sand already soaked in blood. Those hours would become some of the loneliest of the Second World War. At dawn, the sea was gray and restless. Smoke already blurred the coastline of Normandy. From the bridge of the flagship USS Augusta, Bradley struggled to see the shore at Omaha Beach. The horizon flashed with naval gunfire, while tall columns of water erupted where shells struck. But the worst noise came from the radios. Reports crackled through the static. Units pinned down, heavy machine gun fire, officers killed before they even reached the sand. The plan had looked perfect on the map, Omaha drawn as a neat curve along the invasion line. In reality, it had become a void swallowing men and landing craft. Someone finally voiced the word, withdraw. Bradley said nothing. Not yet. Only hours earlier, his world had been built on clean geometry. Maps spread across tables, timetables synchronized with the tides, divisions moving like precise pieces on a board. More than 156,000 Allied troops were landing across 5 beaches along the Normandy coast. Omaha was always expected to be the hardest sector, but on paper it was manageable. Naval bombardment would crush German strongpoints. Airstrikes would shatter resistance. Amphibious tanks would roll onto the beach to support the first assault waves. Then the first arrows appeared. The calculations had been made. General Omar Bradley trusted the math. Then the first cracks appeared. Early reports sounded harmless, some landing craft drifting east, currents stronger than expected. But the tone changed quickly. Bombing runs had missed their targets. German defensive positions remained intact. Machine gun nests still commanded the bluffs. Bradley understood something every commander eventually learns. Plans rarely collapse all at once. They unravel quietly from the beginning. By 8 in the morning, the situation had turned grim. An aide presented the numbers. Casualties climbing, progress nearly non-existent. Through the drifting smoke, Bradley stared toward the unseen shoreline and realized what was truly at stake. Omaha was the seam connecting the entire American landing front. If it failed, the invasion line would rip apart. Utah Beach to the west could be isolated. British forces to the east would be left exposed. The great operation might end in catastrophe. At 8:30 the suggestion came again, calm and clinical: withdraw. Pull the troops back, regroup, attempt another landing elsewhere. Thousands of lives could be saved. General Omar Bradley weighed the idea carefully. If he signed the order, many soldiers would live. Yet the future of Europe might slide into darkness and uncertainty. If he refused, thousands more might die within the hour. War rarely offers clarity when a commander must effectively sign the death warrant of the men fighting under his command. Then slowly, the radio traffic began to change. The messages were still chaotic, but something new appeared: movement. Small groups of soldiers were pushing forward. Others were climbing the cliffs that overlooked the beach. There was no grand, coordinated assault anymore. Units had shattered into fragments. Survivors were forming ad hoc teams. Bradley recognized a harsh truth: when the structure of a plan collapses, initiative replaces it. Courage cannot be ordered. Around 10 in the morning, American naval destroyers began edging dangerously close to the shoreline, far nearer than doctrine allowed. From those positions, they could fire directly into German bunkers carved into the cliffs. It was a reckless maneuver, One wrong calculation, and the ships could run aground or be destroyed by coastal artillery. General Omar Bradley approved the risk. Expensive warships were now being gambled to by soldiers a few more yards of ground. Omaha Beach was bleeding badly. But it was not dead. As noon approached, there was no triumphant announcement, no dramatic speech echoing across the fleet. Bradley simply never issued the withdrawal order. Reinforcements continued to land through smoke and wreckage. Scattered units slowly carved footholds into the cliffs above the beach. Inch by inch, ground was being taken. In war, a single inch can equal miles of history. By evening, Omaha still stood. More than 2,000 American soldiers lay dead or wounded across the torn sand. The beach was cratered and scarred. But the line had held, and once a line exists, it can expand. The push to liberate Europe had begun. In the weeks that followed, Allied forces would pour through the opening in Normandy and begin the long push. Years later, General Omar Bradley would say that Omaha Beach was the hardest battle of his life. Yet during those 6 hours, he never knew whether he was winning or losing. Command does not grant certainty. It only forces a choice between terrible possibilities. Bradley did not know history would remember the day as D-Day. At that moment, he knew only one thing: men were dying, and the decision rested entirely in his hands. The withdrawal order remained unsigned. The math of war had been superseded by the will of the individual. History is often decided in the silence between a question and an answer. Omaha was a victory of blood, but also a victory of restraint. General Omar Bradley chose to wait. And in that waiting, the door to the liberation of a continent was held open. The lonely hours of General Omar Bradley were over, but their echo remains.